This is Jupiter Today for the 3rd of January 2015. Jupiter Today is a daily podcast focusing attention on the dynamic Jupiter system for the purpose of monitoring activity. At 0 hours UTC, the position of Jupiter on the celestial sphere is a right ascension of 9 hours, 36 minutes, 13.9 seconds, and a declination of positive 15 degrees, 11 minutes, 15.0 seconds. The angular separation of Jupiter from the Sun, as seen from Earth, is 140.654 degrees, and that's 1.096 degrees greater than it was yesterday. The phase angle today is 6.726 degrees, and that's 0.157 degrees less than what it was yesterday. The distance between Earth and Jupiter continues to get less and less. Earth revolving around the Sun and getting nearer and nearer to the opposition date of Jupiter, which is coming up in about a month. The distance today is 676,805,031 kilometers, and that's 1,497,140 kilometers closer than it was yesterday. The Earth and Jupiter are moving towards each other at a velocity of 62,340.83 kilometers per hour, and that's 1,504.71 kilometers per hour slower than it was yesterday. The central meridian at 0 hours UTC, CM1 12.72 degrees, CM2 292.95 degrees, CM3 192.24 degrees. So Io begins the day basically transiting Jupiter and is going to be moving into quadrant 3 heading west. Europa also starts the day transiting Jupiter and will also be in quadrant 3 the rest of the day. Ganymede starts the day at its eastern elongation, and Callisto spends most of its day in quadrant 1, still heading east. By 6 hours UTC, both Io and Europa have now transited Jupiter and are both in quadrant 3 heading west. Europa for the rest of the day. 12 hours UTC, Io is near its western elongation and is now moving into quadrant 4 and going to be heading east. Callisto has reached its eastern elongation and is now finally in quadrant 2, starting to head west again. And Ganymede is also in quadrant 2, now heading west. 1800 hours. Io is now in quadrant 4, heading east. Europa and Ganymede and Callisto continue all to head west. And by 0 hours UTC, Io has moved behind Jupiter and is now in quadrant 1, heading east. You can see that here also. There are 7 Jupiter satellite events today. The first happens at 0 hours 16 minutes when Europa begins its transit of Jupiter. At 1:13, Io's shadow egresses. At 1:34, Europa's shadow egresses. At 1:59, the transit of Io ends. At 3:10, the transit of Europa ends. At 20:09 UTC, Io disappears into the shadow of Jupiter, and at 23:15 UTC, Io reappears from behind Jupiter. There were two satellite mutual events today. The first one is going to take place at 8:59 UTC, when the shadow of Europa eclipses Io. This is a 13.2 minute event with an estimated magnitude flux drop of 0.136. Io is about as far away from Jupiter as it can possibly get. It's 100.11 arc seconds from Jupiter, and Europa and Io are 14.96 arc seconds apart. Second event happening today happens from 10:52 to 11:03, and that's when Europa occults Io. This is a 10.9 minute event with an estimated magnitude flux drop of 0.309 magnitudes. And again, this is a very great position for this kind of an event. It's 106.73 arc seconds from Jupiter, which is about as far away from Jupiter as Io gets. Okay, so imagine that you're standing on the equator of Jupiter, and you're just above the clouds so you can see all the stars. Well, this is what you're going to see over the next 24 hours. Sped up. There's Io and Europa. This is about when Europa's shadow interferes with Io. We won't see the alignment for the occultation. But there's both Ganymede and Callisto pretty much as far away from Jupiter as they're going to get from our point of view. Gonna see Io vanishing there, and it reappears. The red spot crosses the meridian twice today, the first at 4:34 and the second at 14:29. There were no new images and no new radio data, and no new papers. So please subscribe. Would thoroughly enjoy hearing your comments and suggestions. I'm always trying to improve. You can email me at the email address shown. And until tomorrow, I bid you peace.